Fire your CSMs and replace them with AI agents who will handle all the service delivery and fulfillment for you. Once you see this in action, you can't unsee it. Clients get launched quicker, responded to faster, and they will ultimately pay more to have one-on-one access to you. It's a tweet I actually sent out 2 days ago. You see, at the end of last year, I made a very conscious decision where I wrote on my whiteboard that in 2025 I wanted 3 things, okay? Peace, profit, and purpose. You see, I was coming off a very trying time in my life where I had a lot of expenses, a lot of overhead, a lot of payroll to cover, and a lot of things in my business were breaking. And I really didn't know how to handle it. I've never experienced that type of stress before because for the last almost 5 years, everything was, for the most part, pretty easy. Clients came naturally. And I think I got too complacent. But I also know that the model I had wasn't really something that I really truly wanted myself, but it was what I was told I should have. A bunch of team members, a bunch of CSMs handling fulfillment, me to exit day-to-day operations and to just be the CEO. And little did I know, at the end of it, I was just managing a bunch of people, not even helping clients, which is why I started this business in the first place. And so I saw the writing on the wall. I knew deep down in my heart and in my gut that what was best for the clients wasn't to continue scaling the offer in the way we had it and to continue hiring more people to deliver on it, but to improve the actual product, to improve the actual service. But at the time, all of the expenses in the business were going to marketing, to sales, and to fulfillment versus product development and research and development. And so I knew that that was flawed, and I knew that things had to change. But obviously when you have a team of 16 people, it's very hard to just overnight change a bunch of things and tell people that you no longer need them or you're going to change different directions in the business, especially when a lot of those people are your friends. A lot of those team members are your friends and have been with you for a long time, and you don't want to just shove them aside because you're loyal. But it was in November when I looked at our payroll and I saw that about $20,000 every single month was being paid to contractors. Not even full-time team members, not the 16 employees I'm talking about, but $20,000 in contractors, people that we were hiring on a per project basis to fulfill on the product and service that we were selling for our agency. And I knew instantly, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, we could easily invest that money into a couple team members, 2 or 3 full-time team members, or a one-time payment to pay for somebody to help us actually develop an AI solution. And so that's what I did. Heading into 2025, after I wrote everything on my whiteboard, which I'll put up right here so you can see that what my goals were, which was drastically different than the year before, because when you want peace, profit, and purpose, your values change. And knowing I was going to have my first child, and thank God we were able to deliver her safely, and she's here now, and she's almost 2 months old, which is crazy. I knew that things had to change, and I wanted to spend time with her and adapting to having a new kid. And so I'll put what I wrote on the whiteboard here so you can see that my goals were dramatically different than the scale at all costs mentality that I had before. And so I started investing that extra money into developing AI solutions. And what we quickly came to realize was we did exactly that. Instead of having $20,000 in payroll, I invested that $20,000 to bring on a fractional AI operator to help us develop an AI infrastructure in our agency that allowed us to onboard clients very rapidly, and more importantly, be able to deliver all of their sales and marketing assets for them in one click of a button by the time they click the onboarding form submit. It developed their VSL. It wrote their ad scripts. It wrote their actual email sequences, their opt-in sequences, their booked call automation sequences, their application questions, their thank you page video script, their VSL script, their landing page copy, their VSL copy, their thank you page copy. And it was beautiful, right? Like, the moment a client came on board, the moment they got everything that they needed to build out their entire marketing system and fill up any of the gaps that were currently in their process. If they didn't have a CRM, boom, this AI software was able to give them that. If they didn't have the hammer them emails, boom, this AI software gave them that. If they didn't have email automations for their opt-in sequences, boom, it gave them that. And it was working. Now, that's when I had, more importantly, another light bulb moment that, okay, if we can continue developing this, and we continue investing in this product and this service and this infrastructure, then what happens to my team? Because I knew, even when we were doing this, that the reason why the results weren't as good as they used to be was because clients weren't working directly with me. And even though I knew this at the time, I didn't want to admit it because, again, like I said, when you have a team, and you probably know this if you have a couple team members underneath you right now, some of which might be friends, and you want to do right by them, but deep down in your heart of heart, in your gut, you know that, holy crap, like, the clients need to be working with me, because if they don't, they're not getting the same quality of service, the same experience, or the results that they paid for. And so when I had to come to terms with that, I had to realize that I had to make a few hard decisions. And so I actually ended up firing 90% of my team. And it's down to me and just 2 other people as we speak. The profit margin went up, payroll costs went down, overhead went down, client results went up, experience went up. Obviously, that's what happens when you lean things out and you focus on what actually matters, which is, getting clients results, making sure they're getting a good experience, working with them directly as the best marketer in your company, and focusing on profit, which is what I care about at this stage of my life. And more importantly, it's all about making a better product. That was the thing that I couldn't sleep with at night last year when I realized that, okay, this needs work. And I remember someone telling me this a while back at a mastermind I actually attended. And I really want you to hear this, because the reason why I'm even making this video is for you to see this. Because if you're experiencing the same things as me, like tons of overhead and payroll, tons of team members, tons of complexity, tons of stress, but your client results are dropping and not getting better the more people you hire, and that's why you hired them, to get clients results, and all you're doing is managing people and trying to fix things, but more importantly, you're not even helping clients anymore, you're completely exited, and that's what you're supposed to do as a CEO, obviously. But deep down, you're like, damn, dude, like, I don't know, this doesn't feel right. Then I would encourage you to listen to this. The question isn't, how do I scale my agency? The question is, how do I scale my expertise? Let me repeat that. The question you need to be asking yourself isn't, how do I scale my agency or my coaching company? The question is, that you should be asking yourself, how do I scale my expertise? You see, when you ask yourself that question, you look at your business a little bit differently. Because that's what I asked myself at the end of last year. How do I scale my expertise profitably and get clients better results more consistently? And that's exactly why I had to, over the last 8 months, slowly but surely chip away on removing a lot of complexity, which included team, which included a lot of software we didn't need, which included a lot of things we were doing for clients that simply weren't valuable to them, which included, me having to suck my own pride and go back in the trenches and work with clients and get back in the Slack channels and get back in the ads account and really see what was happening that was preventing them from getting results. And lo and behold, there's a lot of things that were just simply missing that didn't have that chef's touch, if you will, that secret sauce, that experience that you and I only have as entrepreneurs. Now, when you ask yourself, how do I scale my expertise? The very simple, most logical answer becomes, how do I automate my process? How do I create systems and processes? How do I create delivery mechanisms and infrastructure and templates that are delivered instantaneously and rapidly to all of our clients at the moment they need it, from me directly, from my knowledge, from my skill set? And the beauty of life that we are a part of right now is that you can actually do that using AI. And I'm not here to shill you an AI course. I'm just sharing with you what I've done in my company to help me be able to sleep better at night and have clients get better results, and also increase profit margin, increase my happiness, increase their experience. Because pretty soon, as I just learned at my own mastermind this past weekend in Miami, you'll be able we will be able to operate a business making $100,000 a month in recurring profit by basically creating a software version of our high-ticket coaching program and agency service. You see, the reason why agency business is so good to start is because it requires no upfront investment. All you are is a middleman from the ad platform to the client. You get clients, you place their ads on Meta or YouTube or TikTok or LinkedIn, whatever your service is that you provide, SEO for example even, and then you pay this platform and they get the results, they get the leads, they get the calls. It's very easy to start, very hard to scale. Why? Because every client business is different. It doesn't matter if you just help coaches. There's different types of coaching businesses. There are people that sell high ticket, there's people that sell low ticket, there's people that do challenge funnels, there's people that do high ticket VSL book a call funnels, there's people that sell fitness coaching, completely different than people that do make money online business offers, and it's all relatively in your head. You could be thinking the same thing, but the reality is every business is different, and so the results are also wildly inconsistent, especially when you offer done for you, which is why you see a bunch of people always switching to done with you, do it yourself, and they teach what they did, because it's way easier to make money doing that instead. Now, I'm not here to, shit on that by any means. I mean, I teach what I do in my mastermind to agency owners who are just like me, that are making a minimum of $30K a month, and they want to scale to $100K a month with a lean team and learn how I was able to do it and scale to $350K a month and have a team of 16 and CSMs and sales reps and run ads and all those things. I teach all those things. So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I think that's what you should do, right? You should do it for yourself for a long enough time to where you can prove and speak from a place of experience. Most agencies, by the way, never get to 100K a month. Less than 5% of agencies ever make it to 7 figures. I'm blessed enough to say that thankfully I've stuck with it for long enough where I've been able to make no less than $1 million a year the last almost 4 or 5 years. And more importantly, now with the knowledge I have, it's like, okay, having made $7 million online and having worked with thousands of clients, where's the industry going? And this is where I truly believe if you don't adapt to it now, like I am, and like you should, things are gonna get only more complicated. I had a call yesterday with a guy who is a friend of mine as a part of another mastermind with me, very high level mastermind, and he was telling me that he's experiencing the same thing. They've reduced their team dramatically. They're at a team of only 10 now as opposed to 30 plus people before. So the entire industry is shifting. Ads are only getting harder. If you don't know how to create entertaining ads that educate the world and get them to click for your offer, your product, and your service and position it in a way that entices them to take action now, you're gonna be wasting money on these platforms. You're just basically gonna be giving Mark Zuckerberg a free $10,000 every single month, or Google and YouTube a free $15,000 every single month. It's way harder than it used to be. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, it just means you have to be better. Your offer has to be more enticing. And I'm seeing the writing on the wall, and that's why I'm making this video, because I would be kicking myself if I didn't tell you what I'm up to and hopefully help you. So pretty soon you will be able to have AI agents fulfilling on your service delivery, your fulfillment for your product and your service, handling HR, payroll, billing, more importantly, your operations and fulfillment, and you'll be able to run a very lean, mean, profitable business, making $100,000 a month in recurring profit, which is my goal. That's all I'm focused on right now, and be able to do it with a team of 2 or 3 people, right? You as the founder, the marketer, a operations AI tech wizard to help you create a better product and service and infrastructure to deliver all this to your clients at scale, and then maybe one video editor or freelancer contractor to help you with your content, to continue growing your personal brand. That is it. That's it. That's all you really need, in my personal opinion, and that's what I'm helping people in my mastermind realize and wake up to, because I get messages every single day now, ever since I posted that last video on my channel, which you can go back and see, of me waking up to the realization that I was chasing the wrong things. I was playing somebody else's playbook, and now that I've leaned into what I want and started becoming a little bit more selfish, I realize, holy shit, like I've been doing things very differently recently, and it feels good. Because it's true to me, it's true to what I want, it's true to the lifestyle that I desire, it's true to what my clients want too, which is more access to me. You see, I'm gonna read that tweet again, and I really want you to hear it this time now that I've went through my spiel, okay? Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because if you act on this now, and you learn from someone who's doing it, you get a part of masterminds and in rooms where people are actually building out these infrastructures just like you, and just like we had this past weekend in Miami, you're going to be farther ahead than your competition. You're going to always be a step ahead. But if you're not in these rooms, yes, shameless plug, you should be a part of a mastermind. That's how I've been able to get to be able to make $7 million online and be able to work with guys like Sam Ovens, Cole Gordon, Patrick Bet-David. All these guys that you see is because of masterminds. So I believe in them. I 100% know they've changed my life. They've helped me become the person I am today. You need to be a part of them to learn these things. Otherwise, you won't be able to be exposed to these pieces of information. Here's the tweet again. Fire your CSMs and replace them with AI agents who will handle all the fulfillment for you. Once you see this in action, you cannot unsee it too. Clients get launched quicker, responded to faster, and they will ultimately pay more to have one-on-one access to you. You see, in the future, I see high ticket really shifting to in-person experiences, AKA retreats, AKA actual in-person events, AKA one-day workshops where they work directly with you, the founder, the CEO, the business owner, the talent, okay? That's where the high-ticket industry, in my opinion, is going to actually go. Community, masterminds. That's why I believe in masterminds, because that's where I've made the most money. The tactics, the presentations, all of that, that's great. But the conversations, the insights, the network, the community, the memories you make, that's invaluable along the way. Invaluable. That's what's made me the most money. And that's where I believe the industry is going. Masterminds, in-person experiences, retreats, and one-on-one access to you directly. Your high-ticket coaching program or service as it stands right now will be dramatically reduced in terms of price point, because as soon as everybody else realizes this, then everybody else will be doing the same thing. And they're already starting to do it, just like me right now. I'm not the first person to talk about this. I've heard guys like Dan Bolton talk about this, guys like William Brown talk about this, other influencers in the space as well. And they're just the ones to actually start advocating it, because they're also realizing, I don't want to have a huge team. I want to be able to make as much profit as possible and help clients as much as I can at scale, while reducing everything, the complexity in my life, making things simple again. And that's my prediction. That's what I'm betting on. And I believe very soon it's important for you to take action on this, just like I am, because I cannot tell you how many messages I get from people that have looked at the transition I've made in my life the last few months and seen me go through having the huge team and scale at all cost mentality to focusing on what actually matters ever since I had my first child, which is a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a different goal, a little bit of a different season for me at this point in my life. And I believe it's all been a blessing for a reason, because I saw the writing on the wall back then. Having been in the position I am now, having learned what I learned over this past weekend at my own mastermind from other people in my mastermind, I realized it was the right thing, because now I will be able to fulfill my agency service, my coaching at scale to clients, work with them directly where they can pay to get more one-on-one access to me directly, and they'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. There'll be clients that I want to work with. Again, I'll put the whiteboard up here, right? My goals right here at the end of last year that I wrote down are now coming to fruition, manifestation, because of the ability to be able to leverage the power of AI, which again is here to stay whether you like it or not. And again, I'm not going to shill you an AI course. Obviously, this is just what we're building out in our company. And I happily teach this in our mastermind, obviously, and what we do and how we do it, and obviously all the infrastructure that it takes to be able to actually fulfill on it. But I would encourage you to not overlook this. It's going to be a really interesting time. And, a lot of hard conversations had to be had, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of tossing and turning. Am I making the right decisions? All these things. And having been on the other side of it now for the past 2 weeks, ever since I was able to get rid of everything else, and it's been a wild journey. But this past weekend's mastermind confirmed everything that I've been up to, everything that I've been working on, and more importantly, where the industry and the future of online education is going. So I'd encourage you to take a look at this, rewatch this, go to my tweet, read it, look at the comments below. And you might be thinking, well, I might not need to fire all my CSMs. Maybe that's too extreme. Maybe I just need to get only rid of a couple of them and just hire one and keep one and have him manage everything. And hey, do whatever you need to do, right? Do it at your pace, but do something about it. Listen to this, do something about it, because in the next 3 to 5 years, the industry, the world in general is going to look completely different. And I'm talking about a lot more things related to the industry changing to my mastermind members, including where they're investing their money. A lot of people I've realized don't invest. They're only investing back in their business, which is great. But what happens when, again, every business starts adapting these technologies and these tools, and then the lower cost of goods and services continues to drop? Then what actually becomes worth it? Community, in-person experiences, mastermind, brand, as well as investments that cannot be manipulated, investments that cannot be printed, investments that cannot be made more, which is, for example, another product like Bitcoin, which I'm going to talk about in future videos. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things that I've been up to recently, and hopefully everything that can help you continue to stay ahead of the curve and secure your wealth in the future. So that's it for me today. Go out, look at your payroll, look at your overhead, look at your stress levels, look at your business and say, is this the model I actually want, or is there a better way? And if you want some help with that, message me on Instagram. I'd love to take a look at where you're at and send you my feedback. Cheers.